Hello?
Miss Lestico, guess what time it is?
What time?
It's time for math!
Yay!
Yay, math! I'm so excited!
Oh my goodness, welcome back to another day of time.
Yes, I love telling time because if you know anything about Miss Lime, she loves being on time. So telling time really
Very
helps
important.
me do that. Let's look at our target. It says I can read and write time to the hour on a digital and analog clock.
Oh, Miss Lime, that is not the same as yesterday.
No, yesterday we practiced finding the parts of a clock, like the face and the hands. But we have to learn how to tell time?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm recognizing some of the words in our target that we learned yesterday about clocks, like analog and
Yeah.
digital.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Are those going to be really important in helping us tell time?
I do think because those are two different types of clocks, and they're the two most popular types of clocks that we're going to see. So I guess it would be important for us to learn how to read them. Not like a book, but read them to know what time it is.
Well, I bet we have some friends who can help us
know.
with telling time.
I do. Is it Annie and Moby?
Oh, it is.
Okay, well, let's get ready for a brain pop.
No, Moby, it's not time for lunch yet. Look at the clock. How can you tell time? When you tell time, you look at the little hand first. That's the hour hand. The hour hand is on the 9. Next, you look at the big hand. That's the minute hand. The minute hand is on the 12. So the time is exactly 9 o'clock in the morning. O'clock means of the clock. We go to the computer lab at 10 o'clock and go to the library at 11 o'clock. Moby, those aren't our bags. How do you write the time? Now the time is 3 o'clock. I can write 3 o'clock using words, or write it using numbers and words. I can also write the time using only numbers. Well, first I write the hour, so that's 3. Then I add a colon to separate the hours from the minutes. Finally, I write how many minutes are past the hour. It's exactly 3 o'clock, so there are 0 minutes past the hour. You write the time to 2 places, so I write zeros in the ones place and the tens place. How does time change from 1 hour to the next? We've got to wait 1 hour for the lasagna. Well, there are 60 minutes in an hour, and it's 5 o'clock now. It takes 60 minutes for the minute hand to go all the way around while the hour hand moves from the 5 to the 6. So the lasagna will be done at 6 o'clock. Wait a minute. Now I'm a little confused. Well, there are 24 hours in the day, but there are only 12 numbers on a clock. Right, Moby. The hour hand goes around the clock twice in one day. That's why we have an 8 o'clock in the morning and an 8 o'clock at night. 12 o'clock at night is called midnight because it's in the middle of the night. 12 o'clock during the day is called noon. Hey, it's noon now. Grab your lunchbox, Moby. Let's go. Moby, what was that?
Oh my goodness, my brain popped. Did your brain pop?
It did.
It did. Well, before we get started, can we review the parts of the clock, Miss
I
Lestico?
think that's going to be really important. So we have our giant Judy clock here from our classroom. Now, Miss Lime, if we see this front part of the clock, what is it called?
It's the face!
Oh, good
Just like
job.
my face, that's what I can see. It's the face.
All right, so we have two other parts of the clock. These parts move. What are they called, Miss Lime?
I remember. It's the hands. It's the hands of the clock.
Good job. Now we have two of them. We have a really, really long one and a little bit shorter one.
I remember, Miss Lestico.
You
One of
remember
them
the
is an
clock?
hour hand, and one of them is
The
a minute hand. Yeah, it's a minute hand.
Do you remember which is
You
which?
know what? The shorter hand is the hour hand because it's pointing directly to the hour. And the longer hand is the minute hand because it's going all the way to the minutes, which is this outside part. It has these little ticks. So the hour hand is shorter and the minute hand is longer. Now, I remembered on a digital clock, like Miss Lestico put on our chart back here, I would have the hours first, separated by the two dots, and then my minutes.
Very good.
Miss Lestico, can you kind of show us how the clock works?
Well, when we move our minutes on the clock, the hour hand automatically kind of moves to the next hour. So once we go all the way around the clock in our minutes, it changes to the next hour.
And I noticed something, Miss Lestico. You moved the minute hand. It went all the way around. But the hour hand only moved from one to the next number. It
Minutes
didn't go
are
all the way
a lot
around.
shorter than hours, and so they go a lot faster around the clock.
How many minutes are in 1 hour?
Oh my goodness. Well, if we count our minutes on our Judy clock, we can see that there are 60 minutes in an hour.
That's a lot of time, Miss Lestico.
It is.
I want to start practicing reading the time. Can we start practicing?
We can.
Okay, so Miss Lestico is going to make a time on the analog clock, and then Miss Lime is going to try to write it on the board with a digital clock. So let me get a marker.
So Miss Lime is going to need a space for her hour and then her colon, so her two dots that will separate her hours from her minutes. Look at that. Good job, Miss
And
Lime.
I'm going to label it so I don't forget.
When we say the time, we always say the hour first, and so we do the same when we write it. We have to write the hour first and then the minutes.
Okay, Miss Lestico, I'm ready.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to move my hour hand. I'm going to put it right here.
Okay, now I have to say the hour first, so I'm going to look at the hour hand first. And it's this one, and I know it's that one because it's the shorter hand, and it's pointing directly at the 7, so I know my hour is 7. Now my minute hand is pointing directly straight up at the 12. That doesn't mean it's 12 minutes. It's pointing at the minute, and if it's pointing straight up at the 12, I know that it's an o'clock number, and I show that with 2 zeros. So the time is 7 o'clock, just like that.
Very good. We don't say 7:12, Miss Lime.
No,
that
we
would
would
be
say
crazy.
7 o'clock. Okay, Miss Lestico, let me try. I'm gonna
All
see if I can trick her. I'm gonna make a time on the clock while she's erasing the digital time. And my minutes are always going the same way on a clock.
And right now, is our minute hand going to be anywhere but at the very top, Miss Lime?
No, right now we're working on time to the hour. That means it's always going to be an exact o'clock. We'll work on other times later in the school year. Okay, Miss Lestico, what time do you think it is?
All right, well, I'm looking at my clock and I see the shorter hand right here is pointing directly to the hour, and it looks like it's pointing to the 1. So I bet that it's 1. And my minute hand is pointing to the 12, but I know that the 12 in minutes is o'clock. So it looks like it is 1 o'clock. And I show that by writing 2 zeros at the end.
Good job. Ooh, let's try another one.
All right, Miss Lime, it's your turn. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get a really, really tricky one here. Let's see. All right, Miss Lime, what time is it?
Ooh, that is tricky because it's straight up and down, so it's a little bit harder to tell which hand is shorter and which one is longer, but I can see that this hand is stopping at the number and this one is going all the way through the number. So this is my hour hand and it's pointing at the 6. So I know my hour is 6 and my minutes are pointing straight up at the 12. So I know it's o'clock. So I have 0 minutes. So I'm going to put 0, 0. So it is 6 o'clock. Miss Lestico, I think I have a challenge for you.
Oh, okay.
I think I have a challenge. Who thinks I'm going to trick Miss Lestico? Oh, some of you think she's going to get it, don't you? All right, Miss Lestico. What time is it?
I don't even know where the hour hand went because it's hiding behind the minute hand.
Oh, my goodness.
But the hour hand, I still have to read the hour hand, so I know that it's still back there, and it's pointing at the 12. So I would still have to write a 12 for my hour. And I know if the minute hand is pointing at the 12 too, that's still going to be o'clock. So I'm going to put 12 o'clock, 12:00.
I thought I was going to trick her, but she knew if they're both pointing straight up at the 12, it's 12 o'clock. Miss Lestico, what if we do it the other way? Could we write a digital time and then have to make it on the analog clock?
We could.
Ooh, okay. Miss Lestico, can you write down a time and then I'm going to see if I can make the same time on this analog clock?
All right, so I'm going to start with my hour. So I'm going to write this time right here. What is it, Miss Lime?
I'm going to look, and my target says I have to be able to read that. And I can see it's 3 and then 0, 0. It's 3 o'clock. Okay, let me see. If it's 3 o'clock, the hour hand needs to point at the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's at the 3. Well, not exactly at the 3, Miss Lestico.
It needs to be
Oh, okay,
right
now it's at the 3. And it's an o'clock, which means my minutes need to be straight up at the 12. And they are. These times match. They both say 3 o'clock. Ooh, can I give you one, Miss Lestico?
Go for it.
Okay.
I love how when Miss Lime read her time, she made sure not to say 300 because that's not how we read time. We should know that the 00 or when the minute hand points to the 12, we call that o'clock.
Okay, Miss Lestico, what time did I give you?
All right, well, I know that the hour, so the first part of my digital clock is 5. So my hour hand has to be pointing to the 5. So I'm going to go all the way around my clock until my hour hand is at the 5. But my minute hand isn't quite there. Oh, there we go. I have to make sure that my minute hand is pointing straight up towards the 12, which should be my o'clock.
Good job, Miss Lestico.
All right. All right. Now you're going to have a seesaw activity to do where you have to read the parts of a digital and analog clock to tell the time.
That's right. You're going to have to match and know, ooh, does this clock say the same as like that clock? But you guys are going to do such a great job. What should they do when they're done?
Make sure that you click that green check mark so that your teachers can see all the amazing work that you did.
That's right. We'll see you tomorrow.